I'd like to start off today, dear viewers, with an apology. Last week, we watched the baseball episode of Sonic X, and I intended to begin the episode with the
"Oh, that's a baseball!"
clip from JoJo. However, I forgot because I am stupid, and instead I just awkwardly introduced the episode with a spinball reference that made no sense. I would like to assure you, dear viewers, that I am being punished for this grave misdeed by slowly having all of my arms and legs pulled off and repurposed into exotic furniture for the pleasure and convenience of starving villages in the impoverished island nation of Krazkatalia. Thank you for your forgiveness, and welcome to Deep Dive Zone, a Sonic review series for fans of all shapes and sizes. I'm your quadriplegic host, Devin, joined as always by my co-hosts Lauren and Bruce, and guys, today, we've got some Sonic X episodes.
I'm gonna finally finish this two-parter.
Yeah. It only took a week.
Yeah, it's like we're normal people watching a show that actually airs weekly or something. Except it's still 3 times as fast, but you know. Yeah, we're starting off today with episode 13, which is called After the Attack on Eggman's Base, or Beating Eggman Part 2. Gun continues
the attack
their
is
assault.
still happening. Why would they call it after the attack? Because it's after they started the attack, I guess.
That's a good question.
I mean, they'd also have the things that happen after the attack. If it were
Sure.
a 3-parter, then it would be bullshit. But...
God, don't give him any ideas for a show that's already over.
Oh yeah, my mind is gonna travel 20 years back in time and make them make a different decision. Anyway, Gun continues their assault on Eggman's fortress, now with Tails, Sonic, and Knuckles all in the mix.
Yeah, they continue. The attack isn't over yet.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we saw Rouge's get up last episode, but I just realized how pointless dressing in all black is if you're still going to have the big pink hearts.
Oh, yeah. I think we did see the outfit last week. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, Rouge's sneaking suit is something I think exclusive to this show. Like, it's something
Kinda
that
what
people
I
draw her in
figured.
a lot, but it's not something that I think exists in the games.
Huh.
And yeah, no, she doesn't... It's weird, because Rouge is a spy, and she gives off spy
Sure.
energy, but not really stealth energy, as weird as that is.
No, she feels like she'd, infiltrate an area and, be a double agent.
I don't know. I mean, SA2 had that level with what was it? The Eggman's pyramid base.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Although
the
you
beam
can
robot
play
is
that
just a little
as
dumb.
not stealth and just get zapped a bunch.
That's true.
It really doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Fuck that level, I hate that level. I like on the title card here, there's just this monitor that says kick and punch.
Mm,
I don't know why.
you know.
Maybe it's a reference to Knuckles, who is riding a missile during this part.
He's having the time of his fucking life, also.
He even yee-haws like in Doctor fucking Strangelove. And I
Knuckles
guess
does
that was
seem
what
to
he
play.
hid in that jet for. I'm not sure what exactly his goal is, to be honest.
I'm guessing the idea is that he's hoping if he gets to Eggman's base, he can find a way to get back.
Well,
Because they
Eggman
still need
tricked
the
him
chaos
recently.
symbol.
It could be
That's
as simple
true.
as he's annoyed
Oh,
with
yeah, yeah,
Eggman.
he may just want revenge.
I guess he knows that Eggman has a Chaos Emerald, and maybe he thinks that it's better to support Sonic, who has more Chaos Emeralds right now?
I guess, yeah.
Or wait, do they... No, they each have one, don't they?
Eggman has
Yeah.
Well, yeah, at the moment, yes. that's
Yeah,
true.
Eggman's about to get a second one.
Yeah. But yeah, gun flying in. I'm not sure how I feel about talking to each other while there's wind fast enough to blow you through the air, but okay.
Realism.
Because that's that's Chris and friends being attacked. It's like, how do you even
Right.
hear each other if you can be buffeted? Because that's like a jet engine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the chicken robot, well, it ends kind of anticlimactically. Sonic just gets here and knocks it on its ass.
Yeah, how fucking strong is Sonic to be able to do that? That thing's huge.
Well, but
I can believe
I mean,
that.
that's nothing new with Sonic, but I still have to question it.
there's a more egregious example later, in my opinion. But
Okay.
for now, I have to point out that Eggman really was being diabolical this time. He knew that while Knuckles wasn't around, he could just steal his catchphrase and declare it's crunch time on Tails.
Does he say that in the dub?
Yes, he does in the dub.
Jesus.
I can't. Penders, why don't you freaking out of this? You're getting plagiarized, man.
Right? Sonic X should have been destroyed by him, honestly. Yeah, no, it's honestly not surprising at this point that Sonic would just instantly knock over and defeat the thing. But the
Right.
funny thing is that it comes back up and then he destroys it again in one blow.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's like they knock it down, it blows Eggman away because it's firing straight up, and you think, like, oh, that's gonna be the end of things.
Sure.
But then, no, it gets back up, just as Tails... Yeah, just as they're gonna get the emerald. And then Sonic just destroys it, so that didn't matter. But then Tails digs up the emerald, and then Eggman steals it right out of his hand, so that didn't matter either. It's like we only made this a two-parter so that we could pad out the episode length, because if Sonic wasn't here, then this would have gone exactly the same way, and there just wouldn't be the robot.
Basically. Yeah, pretty much.
This episode, spoilers for my opinion, didn't need to be two parts.
Didn't. It really didn't.
After that pointless exercise, we get back to Rouge, and this is when the really egregious thing happens, because there's a big old robot that grabs Rouge, and then she just bursts out of its giant claw. Like, what?
Why was it able to grab her in the first place?
Yeah, you got super strength, you can just break it by exerting yourself on it? I don't think so.
Well, the Sonic original characters have all been portrayed as like stupidly overpowered so far. So
there is a big difference between like gathering some momentum and maybe even I can stretch my disbelief and say maybe they're finding a weak spot and then breaking a robot with a punch or a kick, and just being grabbed and restrained and then bursting out of it. That requires a lot more strength.
Well, and I would say Sonic and Knuckles are both portrayed as inhumanly strong. Almost nobody else is. Maybe Amy sometimes, but even then it's only with the hammer.
Sure.
Tails,
well, and I'd expect that, honestly.
Tails is clearly portrayed... Okay, well, other than Cream, I suppose. Tails is portrayed as the weakest, and Rouge is, like, somewhere in the middle. Like, she's only ever seemed to be pretty average in terms of raw strength.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And even then, we're fighting guard robots, but the rest of the team are being shot at by, like, gunner robots, and so Rouge is essentially separated from them, only now we have Knuckles breaking in and saving them and talking some shit, honestly. It's really unclear how familiar Rouge is supposed to be with the rest of the cast, because she and Knuckles not seem phased at all by each other.
No, they recognize they do seem to recognize each other, but like nothing beyond that.
It's odd.
Yeah,
especially since they're gonna act less familiar when the SA2 adaptation rolls around. But
nice.
Oh boy, it's oh man, I can't wait to see how they bend the continuity in this show.
in some ways, they do good things with it, but what's important is that Eggman is coming home. And that's good, because Deco and Boko have not been doing a great job, but I love Eggman's gunner seat that he uses to manually operate the base defenses. Specifically, I love just how giddy he gets using it, making all these weird cackling laughs. He's so excited.
I love that it looks like one of those rides you see outside of like a grocery store.
I'm sure that's intentional, because there's no reason it needs to be like this. He could just grab the controns and do this.
No, this is obvious. This is very Eggman.
This is in... There's something like this in SA1 as well.
Okay.
One of the side rooms on the egg carrier has... I don't know if they're specifically gun defenses, but they're... Yeah, they look like little kiddie rides in the egg playroom.
That's right. Yeah, that sounds about right.
So, of course, Sonic and the gang are still heading after him and want that emerald back. And Tails, he threads the needle pretty well considering just how much gunfire and missiles are going off here. Again, you should not be taking children with you. It's one thing for a gun to endanger children because they're a corrupt, evil military. It's another thing entirely for Tails and Amy to be okay with that. Sonic is at least reckless.
Yeah.
Because this isn't Chris putting himself in a dangerous situation, but
no,
it's a cartoon. I guess it's not that concerned with it.
Obviously,
Sonic, he jumps off the plane, he busts into the base. There's that cool shot of him with his... I was about to say that was a pose from something, and I don't think it is. I think it's exclusive to the show. It's one of the ones that gets traced a lot, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of this is a little all over the place, but this moment got me excited a little bit. I'm like, oh, classic. Sonic bursting into an Eggman base and having a showdown with him, one-on-one. And we get a big old robot, and I think this is the first time in the show that Eggman directly pilots a robot.
Yeah,
Yes.
you guys like Mazinger? I don't know what that
Oh, yeah,
show is.
Mazinga.
Yeah, it's a reference to that for some
Mm-hmm.
reason.
This
Anime.
show has a ton of references in Eggman's creations. It's weird.
I mean, this one makes sense. You know, Mex and Mazinger. Mazinger is
It's a
probably,
foundational show for
yeah, is
anime.
probably the most foundational show, or at least one of, for mecha anime. So it makes sense.
Yeah. And this show likes to cosplay as a mecha show. So. But yeah, E18 here is it's strong because it's powered by the 2 Chaos Emeralds he stole.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, the stage is set for what could be a harrowing battle for Sonic.
It's a good setup, and it gets you excited at the start.
And it doesn't really go that way, though.
Not really.
Instead, Deco and Boko are just like, hey, what's up with these people that got locked in the power station?
Why do they have to question if they're allies?
Because the writers hadn't quite solidified that these are scratch and grinder replacements, and they had to really show how idiotic they are.
Yeah, and I think it was this episode that made me realize that I kind of hate them.
Oh yeah. They just needed to actually appear
Confirm
at
it,
all,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
then
fair
you
enough.
hate 'em.
Yeah, fair enough. We've barely seen them.
Yeah, it's amazing how quickly this one thing turns the tide of the battle. They're just like, what's up with these guys? Eggman gets distracted, Sonic rips the emeralds out of the goddamn robot, and he powers up with them? This isn't super... What are you doing?
Yeah,
What?
here it is.
There we go.
It is.
It's fake Supersonic.
Oh, it's Lord Slug.
Excuse me. Not quite Supersonic. It's not quite Supersonic.
It's pretty good Sonic.
Pretty good Sonic. There you go.
Yeah, we've never seen this in any Sonic continuity.
Yeah, since when can Sonic just use a couple Chaos Emeralds to make himself more powerful?
Heck, we've never even seen Sonic use Chaos Emeralds on their own, except for that one famous maneuver in SA2. He just doesn't do that normally.
No, he just uses them to go super.
I mean, since then we've had Sonic Superstars, but that's stated to be something about the magnetic fields surrounding whatever the fuck the island in that game is called.
So that's ways true, off from this.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
But yeah, that is so out of the blue. He uses them like power rings, which...
Yeah! Worse than that, they make him fly!
It's like they wanted Supersonic.
It really is pretty good Sonic, isn't it?
It's
honestly,
the magic rocks from the end of Sat AM.
I feel like this would have actually been better if it was Supersonic also. That would have made him a lot more impactful to me, at least.
Well, this is the...
There's no reason they couldn't have just collected all the 7 by now. I mean, there was enough episodes.
Exactly. Make it so, they've collected, each of them have, Eggman has, 4 emeralds and they have 3. So Sonic gets all of them from this robot and goes super.
Well, and that's something kind of related, because this is the 1/6 point in the show. This is the end of the first half of the first core of the show. And spoiler alert, by the end of the second half, we will have an actual supersonic conclusion.
I'd expect so.
Yeah.
I think the reason they didn't do it is something that we won't see until we actually do have all 7 emeralds in one place. It's a sort of a rule they established, and obviously this is breaking other rules of the Sonic series, but maybe they thought it was less egregious.
I guess.
But yeah, you're completely intruding on the territory of your own form by destroying the base with just 2 emeralds.
Yeah.
So yeah. Also, I guess there was something about Knuckles, Rouge, Topaz, etc. being locked inside there with their own bombs, but I just didn't even notate it because it's that's not going to happen.
No, of course. And
I did
they were on for 10 minutes and whatever. They're not going to die.
it's not terribly consequential.
Not really.
But I do like the bit where Rouge tries to kick down the door, doesn't work. Knuckles is like, oh, stand aside. Let me punch it. He punches it, and he's like, what? It didn't work. And then he keeps punching it. He gives up, and then Rouge and him break it together. But it's funny. For a moment, he's like, well, maybe if I just keep punching it.
Yeah.
Seems about right.
You know.
But Sonic,
It's like opening a jar.
Sonic saves the day. Eggman's base explodes with the same stock explosion sound effect that they use in Deltarune.
Yeah.
And everybody
Oddly
celebrates because
specific.
this was being broadcast on TV for some reason.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention, the people at least in Station Square watching this are just like standing in the street, watching it on a big monitor on a building. Like, go home, motherfuckers! Watch it on your TV.
Yeah, you need the Jumbotron for all of this exciting action, question mark?
Yeah, for all this exciting action, for most of it, they spent just staring at Sonic on a plane.
Yeah. Yeah, so this second part, I mean, it was more action-packed than the first. It got more shit done, but it had to... it had to sort of bend its own rules to get there.
Yeah.
Honestly, still not great.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah, if this is supposed to be your mid-season finale, then, meh.
Yeah.
But that's okay. You know, you wait another week and maybe you'll get a better episode. And look, this is a better episode.
It certainly is.
I mean, technically.
I think this is a great episode. This is episode
Yeah, so do I.
13, Chase After the Hero Sonic, or That's What Friends Are For. After his heroism during the assault on Eggman's fortress, Sonic and friends are invited to a celebration with the president. However, Sonic himself has other plans. And this is the episode that everybody cites as what Sonic 06 should have done, frankly.
What?
Interesting, okay.
It has Sonic connecting with a human girl and showing her all of the things that make life worth living or whatever. And it's not bullshit like Sonic 06's. That's...
Oh. Huh. I mean, sure. I guess.
That's an interesting
Where's the
take,
time travel, though?
That's
Like,
true, we do
how
need
is
the
this-
time travel.
How does this relate to Sonic 06?
Oh yeah, you're right. We gotta steal Sonug the Bog Hog from Archie Comics and slap him in here. There we go.
Oh, the two stories
Oh,
combined to make the
God.
perfect 06
Replacement.
rewrite. That's right. Got it.
Yeah. Anyway, so we start off with President Mike and Jerome Wise realizing, shit, we were the ones who started the assault on Eggman, but all of the attention and credit went to Sonic, so we can't use it as election PR.
Of course, all the shit's going to Sonic. He did most of the work.
Yeah, they would have failed without him, probably.
I mean,
There's
the
no
bomb.
probably about it.
No, the bomb. Well, was it the bomb that they set that blew up the base, or was that Sonic, or was it a combination of them?
Either way, martyring their own SWAT team would probably
Oh, well,
also
yeah.
be a bad look.
Yeah, no. If they let Topaz's team just die in there, that wouldn't have been good election fodder either.
Yeah, but
Water.
Wise's idea here is we can spin this. You know, we can make Sonic into our ally. You'll be the Sonic president.
I love that, the Sonic president.
There's a great line when they're talking about how Sonic might just become the next president at this rate,
Yeah.
and the president's like, well, gosh, then I'll have to find a real job.
Everything about this, Wise takes President Mike's campaign so much more seriously than President
Then the
Mike
president does.
And spoilers is because he's thinking like, oh, this will be me paving my way to become my own president. Is this guy the vice president? They never mention a vice president.
They've just called him his aide, so I assume he's not.
Yeah, I don't know.
He doesn't seem like it.
No.
He might as well be. He's sort of like he fulfills all of the roles that it seems like he might. There is no vice president.
Fair, we don't know how the political hierarchy works here.
No, this is fake America, so...
So the aide could very well be the second in command.
Yeah. So their idea ends up being this big party to celebrate the success of the mission with Sonic as the guest of honor. And, well, everybody is on board with this except Sonic.
Yeah, Sonic's gonna... immediately, I knew Sonic was just gonna blow it off.
Well, of course, he doesn't give a
Pretty
shit.
obvious.
Yeah, of course he is. Like, why the hell wouldn't he?
Instead, he's like, nah. Chris, I met this wheelchair-bound girl in your class, and I decided she needs some joy in her life.
Yeah, she's cooler and she needs to be happy. I'm gonna go hang out with her.
I like how this is presented. Not that Sonic is directly opposed to going meeting the
No,
president.
he's just got plans already.
Yeah, like if he had nothing else to do, he would
might
do
actually go.
But he does, and so he doesn't care enough.
Exactly.
I'm busy. This is more important. And
This is more important. It is more important. Also, wow, Sonic's not being a prick for once.
Yeah.
He's
Also,
actually not rude in this episode.
Excuse me. In this show, I mean. I don't mean in general.
It varies, yeah.
In this show, he's been almost exclusively an asshole.
In a good way. I think Sonic's personality is pretty good in this show.
It's okay. Chuck also commits a federal crime.
What is he?
I must have missed that.
He opens Sonic's mail.
Oh.
Oh, haha, yes.
Speaking of the household, I just want to mention that the house furries, like, they really can't be much of a secret because their photos are being blasted all over national news.
No, they're clear. They're not a secret anymore because of this. Because of this assault on Eggman's base, they're not a secret anymore.
I'm just saying, like, I feel like I remember that Chris's parents continue to act oblivious after this. Maybe I'll have to see the remaining episodes, but...
I mean, they very well could still act oblivious.
In any case, they arrive at the party, and, there's all these reporters here, because that's, what Wise wants. But when they realize that Sonic's not there, they're like...
They just don't give a shit.
Who cares? Which, Tails played a part in that.
Tails flew the fucking plane.
Yeah, they don't even try to find Knuckles, by the way.
They don't care about Knuckles, even though Knuckles
wouldn't care to come.
Yeah, Knuckles just wouldn't care to come. Period. Also, he was only on the inside. He was only with the team that got stuck.
The cameras didn't catch him, of course.
Yes. Actually, that's probably the exact reason.
Yeah, but that means that Jerome is like, well, shit, you guys, we got to do something. So that he decides, send some goons out to capture Sonic. Because
he sent the fucking Men in Black.
Well,
it's probably Secret Service. It's not Men in Black.
Well, it doesn't matter. But it's like your goons couldn't defeat Eggman, but Sonic could. What does that tell you about whether you can defeat Sonic?
He's desperate. He
just needs a win.
He needs something.
He is absolutely desperate. Obviously, they don't find Sonic at the house. Like the last time, the only person they see is Ella, and she is not having this shit.
It's not the only person they see.
It's true, not the only person.
Because Tanaka shows up, and perhaps in the only time in the show, his martial arts actually are effective because they're against just regular people.
Yeah, sure. He beats the shit out of the Secret Service.
I do want to question, why doesn't this ultra-wealthy mansion have actual security?
It's not because it's sufficient.
I guess just ninja butler is all you need.
He's obsessed with samurai, not ninjas. There's a difference in the level of honor there.
Yes, but samurai don't use martial arts generally.
Listen, he's not fucking watching Naruto. Sorry, this is stupid. I guess you're right. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, so Wise is getting more and more desperate. He calls in basically the CIA and the military to find him. Again, that's why I'm wondering if he is the vice president, because he's described as an aide, but I feel like an aide doesn't really have that authority.
Unless he could.
Unless the president's just his puppet or something.
Yeah, I guess.
It almost seems like
Dick
that.
Cheney
It does
moments?
kind
Wow.
I mean, it is Bush Nixon.
Yeah, but Sonic and Helen, they're out having a good time,
Yeah, they're having a ball.
She's like all, she starts off very sort of depressed and not all that expressive, but as the level of danger ramps up, Sonic is having fun and she starts having more fun too.
Yeah, because it's probably the most active activity she's gotten to have maybe in her entire life.
So we touched on it earlier, but let's talk about it now. So why is Sonic friends with Helen? I don't understand.
I don't know when they met. Definitely, that's a weird thing.
I think they met at this same lake, I think. He was just running around and she was there
Did they flash back to that?
They did earlier in the episode.
Yeah, they show it. Literally, she's just like stuck on a rock, and
Yeah, and Sonic
is
helped
like,
her.
"Hey, let me
Because,
help you," and then boom, they're friends instantly. Which he didn't seem to really care about making friends earlier in the show.
Well, he found someone that he actually likes.
I guess maybe sometimes you just hit it off better with people, but
Yeah.
he very much, even now, I can't quite tell what he thinks about Chris. Seems like he tolerates him at this point.
I think that's a good description. He tolerates him.
Sonic is more sympathetic to people who are downtrodden or underdogs, and even though
Chris is not
kind
an
of indebted
underdog.
to Chris is not an underdog.
No,
so
he's
he has
not.
Different feelings on different people.
He just uses Chris as a place to sleep, or Chris's house as a place to sleep.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Case in point, this episode understands Sonic's relationship to authority a lot better than some material.
Yeah, that's true.
He has no hesitation kicking a tear gas canister back at cops.
Oh man, I love that. That was fucking great.
I love the way he treats them too, in that he never gets like exceedingly angry or really tries to like get rid of them.
No, if anything, he seems like he's having fun with it.
Yeah.
When he does encounter them, he seems like he's having fun with it, but for the most part, yeah, he just avoids them.
Yeah.
Also, when the cops show up to catch them, they just give up when he jumps off the overpass.
Yeah. I want to say there's something morbidly funny about the commercial eye catches in the Japanese version, because I assume it's because they have to show a full character profile, but it's really awkward when Helen's then shows her standing on two legs.
Yeah.
Did you guys forget what part
Did
of
you get the whole point of this character in this episode?
Yeah, so that's a little weird, but
a little bit. I think now we cut after. Oh wait, well, Sonic was getting a boat, right?
I don't remember exactly what order things happened.
Yeah, he went to go get a boat, and then they cut back to the dinner, and this is the most depressing presidential dinner I've ever seen.
Well, this is the hilarious thing. I don't know how they depict this in the dub, but why is he trying to stop the reporters from leaving? So he's just getting them progressively more and more drunk.
I am very curious how the dub deals with that.
He just suggests they eat more food.
Oh, he's gonna get them fucking. You give them a fucking turkey dinner coma.
In some ways, that's worse. But yeah, like they're sending helicopters after Sonic, and he like hooks the tether from one onto the wheelchair and rides him across the water to a cliff.
Jesus,
a crazy maneuver, I must.
That is insanity.
Yeah, and I guess Gun has those flying platform vehicles from Akira as well.
I mean,
just gotta get more references in.
I mean, I don't know if that's specifically an Akira reference, but they look really similar.
I think
wouldn't be
probably from the same source, because I've seen those elsewhere. I don't remember where though.
It could be Akira. They do have the fucking Akira cargo lift in Adventure too, so maybe.
I like the bit where Sonic like swings off over to the cliff with Helen, and then they almost make it, and he's like, darn, almost made it. And then they fall off backwards, and then he just runs back up the side.
Yeah,
he's very casual about it.
Yeah. And yeah, they chase Sonic through a forest. He Return of the Jedi's a few of them into trees. And yeah, they get a sheer cliff, and it's like, what can we do here? Just kidding. We just grab her, run straight up the wall, no problem.
I mean, to be fair, that's fine.
And at the top is this field of flowers that are so white that they literally glow.
God damn.
And they're pretty, I guess. I don't know. There's a lot of Sonic giving people flowers in this show. That they did that with Cream too.
Yeah, it's true.
I guess in the long run, botanic imagery will be very relevant to this show, but Gun is still coming to ruin things, so Sonic leads them the other way to keep the flower field safe. The other way is just more cliff, though.
Yeah.
Which means that they're finally actually cornered. Gun fucking tries to shoot their guest of honor.
A small price to pay for capturing the hedgehog.
Yeah, they'll kill him and then just drag his corpse into the dinner.
They should propose an alliance with Eggman at a certain point. You want to make Eggman a bigger threat in the games, you have that happen. I don't know.
Maybe if Eggman runs low on resources, they could make a deal, and maybe he could like build them robots or something to bolster their defenses, and then they'd give them some cash under the table, and keep it quiet.
Although, in that respect, maybe Sonic would just pull what he does here, which is that he runs up the wire from one of their grappling hooks and steals the helicopter.
And kicks the guy out of the water, and in my imagination, just killed him.
Yeah.
I mean, there are lots of times in this series that people definitely should be dead.
Oh,
but
yeah.
In canon they're not, even though they definitely should be.
Remember, everyone in Station Square was evacuated.
Yeah. We'll get to this show's version of that as well. But, so
Sonic look forward to it.
I usually let Tails handle this stuff, but he actually does have the piloting experience to have a rudimentary understanding of flying a helicopter.
So, canonically, the original Tornado is Sonic's plane, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, he should, in theory, know how to fly a plane, if he owns one.
We've seen him fly it in other continuities.
That's true, we have seen him fly as well.
Like planes?
I mean, not really, but whatever.
Yeah. Also, Sonic will fly the plane in the Sky Chase Zone if you're playing as Tails. So that's the other thing.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, and actually, if you do Knuckles' story in Sonic 3, which is canon, Sonic flies a plane in that as well.
There you go. So,
but yeah, I don't think that translates to helicopter piloting. Maybe.
I mean, no, probably not. But there has to be some skills that you can transfer. I guess to be fair, he does show he's able to fly this enough.
Yeah. But Helen's like, maybe you shouldn't leave the president hanging just because of me. And he's like, fine, I'll fly this helicopter directly to the White House.
Yeah, he only goes because she told him to go.
Well, at first he's like, no, it's not worth it. And she's like, well, we can go together. And he's like, oh, okay, that sounds good.
Oh, you want to go? Aight, let's go.
Yeah. So they do. Sonic shakes the president's hand just like Jerome wanted. But the reporters are all so drunk that they've all passed out.
I mean, I don't know what you were expecting when you got them all fucking blasted.
It was the only way to keep them there.
I like
Maybe he should have...
Just put them under arrest like a real politician.
Oh gosh. I like that, once again, Sonic, instead of being like, how dare you send a bunch of agents after me, doesn't care. He's like, yeah sure, I'll shake your hand. Like hold it, and he's like, sure, why not?
Yeah, why not,
He's just going with the flow.
Yeah, and, well, it seems like everybody had a good time in this episode except Jerome and his goons.
Yep.
And perhaps the hangover for those reporters.
Yeah, a little Pedialyte, they'll be fine.
Yeah, so we end on Helen and her family, reflecting on this crazy experience, but they're like, wow, she's so much more happy and energetic now. Maybe we should, let her get out and live a bit more. Which, yeah.
I mean, the common trope, overprotective parents of a disabled child.
I'm gonna be honest, this would be more impactful if we had seen the character more beforehand.
Yeah, if we'd seen a little bit more from Helen, I think it would be a little bit more impactful. It's still somewhat impactful, though.
I'll tell you what they should have done. In the Cream episode, they should have had Sonic make friends with her when he was out getting the flowers. They should have made that the same flower field, and they come back there in this episode.
Yeah, that would have worked, yeah.
And it would have given Sonic's presence in that episode a little bit more purpose.
True.
But otherwise, I don't know, I like this episode. I think it's cute.
Yeah. It's a wholesome episode.
It's fine.
Yeah. And, because this is this second half of this core, we've got a new ending theme as well.
Which I did not listen to.
Original image. You gotta listen to it, man. The Shining Road is a good-ass song, and
I'm sure it is.
It's maybe a little too emotional for the show.
I'm sure it's great. I don't have time to listen to it.
It's like a minute and a half at the end of one episode.
That's a minute and a half.
Commitment.
That's a minute and a half. I could be playing Minecraft.
That's a very good point.
Fucking people. You'll miss out on all of the sick animation that is trying to push Sonami more, though. Don't you want that?
Not really.
All right.
Well, you do a really good job of selling me on it.
At a certain point, they start using it in the middle of the show anyway, so you'll have to hear it one way or the other. Lauren is the only person who is free from good music.
Thank God.
Thank God I don't have to hear good music.
Anyway, let's move on to our last episode of the day. Episode 15, Raid of Egg Fort, the Flying Fortress, or Skirmish in the Sky. Gonna be honest, some of those Japanese titles, I understand why they changed them.
Yeah, no, it's got the same problem a lot of light novels have, where their names are fucking longer than the actual stories.
Wait, I just think it's clunkily worded.
Yeah, no, it's not good. It's not great.
Anywho, Chris and the gang take a shopping trip in the city, but Eggman reemerges from his defeat with a new flying fortress.
That sounds a lot cooler than it'll actually end up being.
I did one thing at a time. We have to start on the real appeal of this episode, which is Chris giving Sonic a cell phone.
Oh boy, cell phone! Sonic's immediately gonna fucking lose it.
2003
He doesn't even
cell
accept it.
I thought he does accept it.
No, he doesn't.
Oh,
He
he
gets
just
rid of
gives
it immediately.
Oh, I didn't realize he just ditches it immediately. All right.
There's something funny about seeing Sonic with this old chunky flip phone, and I don't blame him for not being impressed. Where's he gonna keep it? Just toss that shit out.
Oh, he keeps shit in his quills all the time.
It reminds me of like modern Dragon Ball and how weird it is seeing Goku pull out a modern smartphone.
He does that?
Have you not fucking watched Super, you piece of
I've
shit?
watched maybe 5 episodes of Super.
I'm pretty sure that happens within the first few. Whatever. None of this matters.
Chris is
It
like,
was
why
also
the
a
heck
long time ago.
would Sonic not want a cell phone? And Tails is just like, oh, he just shows up when he needs to. Like, ah, yes. The plot informs him.
Yeah, he's got magic power. But it's like, Sonic's like, Chris is like, now we can talk to each other whenever we want. Maybe that's the reason that Sonic gets rid of it. I don't want to talk to Chris all the time.
I
feel like Sonic barely wants to talk to Chris, period.
I have to check, but I think it's right about after. Oh yeah, no, it is. It's after Amy shows up and is like, "Oh my gosh, you have a cell phone, Sonic?" That's when he gets rid of it.
Ah, okay.
Okay. I must have looked away when
He
she
doesn't
showed
want
up.
either of his secret admirers bothering him.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's nothing secret about either. You get the joke. But yeah, they're going out on a shopping trip here in Station Square. They actually call it Station Square. I don't know if that means that that's where this has always been, or if this is a specific place. I don't know.
They do call it Station Square, like the first episode or something.
Really? Wow, must have missed that.
I have it in my notes somewhere early on.
Yeah, but they have some fun, I guess. I don't know. Amy tries on a bunch of different outfits. I remember this shot because it's in the intro, the Gotta Go Fast intro. That is.
They try to have fun, but
Well, yes, that's the growing thing is that because everything is so publicized now, everybody is just staring at them with everything they do.
yeah, they're all publicized. Also, there are a bunch of furries.
Yeah, I mean they're space aliens, so
Yeah, so it's another reason why people are
what
staring.
I mean. That's what's being made public, not the fact that Chris is friends with them.
No. Yeah, no. The fact that they exist is what's been made public.
Yeah. And I do like the shot of them with just completely stone-faced expressions at the food court with all the people surrounding them. And Ella's like, "Oh, we're getting attention for being part of the Eggman attack," but yeah, no, it's because they're weird giant alien animal people.
I mean, it's probably realistically it's both.
It's both, but
Yeah.
that's what put them on the map, I guess. So it's both.
Yeah,
But,
the Eggman attack put them on the map. Yeah.
They're like, all right, well, Chris, you can just pay to get us into the aristocratic members-only dining area. But that's
Which
worse
doesn't
because
work.
rich people are crazy and have no respect for their personal space.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah, so they're gonna have to go back into hiding for their own safety,
For their own
True.
comfort, at least, yeah.
for their own sanity.
Yeah, it's like they're just touching them. It's gross.
Yeah, no, it's fucking, it's great. I hate it.
So some demolition and construction lads are investigating the rubble of Eggman's base. But oops, he just had another thing hidden under there.
You know, it's funny. Right about this point in the episode, I was wondering, I wonder how they're gonna bring back Eggman.
He just had this, I guess.
Yeah, well, they make it seem like that he built it in between his base being destroyed and now. Bullshit, he already had that.
I don't know. I'd believe either, honestly, knowing Eggman. This is a cool moment, though, when it rises up. And at first I was like, oh, wait a minute. It's the egg carrier. No, it's actually not the egg carrier.
Oh, I'm
That's
glad I'm
the
not
thing.
the only one.
This is the Egg Fort, and it's a flying fortress. It's a big
Uh-huh.
battleship. It's got a big silly nose cone. You'd think that that would be the egg carrier, but no. The show adapts Sonic Adventure 1, we're halfway there basically, and that has its own other flying fortress, but we're just doing it early basically with a different one.
It
Yeah.
would have been so easy. You wouldn't even have to change anything because
No.
this show has already done Sonic X versions of stuff. I wasn't phased by the fact that it looks different, but I mean this works. It's just like a prototype now.
Yeah,
I guess
it works. I just would rather it be the egg carrier.
it would have been better. I still do like
Yeah.
this though. That
Eh.
that Eggman's like, oh, base gets destroyed. Okay, well then I'll take this as an opportunity to ramp things up and make a mobile base this time and instantly retaliate. Because yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the smart idea.
Yeah, so he drops some wrecking ball robots, which destroyed Chris and the gang's car, and create havoc throughout the city as you might expect.
Sure.
Everybody gets cornered by one, so obviously Sonic's gonna show up to save the day.
Of
'Cause
course.
that's the formula.
Yeah.
Eggman chases him with some missiles. He leads them into the robots, etc.
We're getting very formulaic.
Yeah, it's becoming harder and harder to talk about action sequences in this show.
Yeah, when the action sequences are so similar every time.
There's this legitimately shocking moment when Deco suggests that Eggman self-destruct the Falcon robot that Sonic is riding on.
Right.
Oh yeah.
What? How are you writing these characters? I thought they were supposed to be stupid.
It's stupid with bursts of intelligence.
It's a
Right.
little odd, yeah. And so Chris and they're caught because they don't have the plane, so they can't get up on there and they can't get home either. So of course Uncle Sam, that is to say Sam Speed, not the American propaganda cartoon, is here to give them a ride. Sonic rides the bird robot, but they actually do use the self-destruct button and it blows it up.
They
And
do,
Sonic,
yeah.
I guess his gloves must be made out of something other than cloth because they make a horrible screeching
Oh,
as
God.
he desperately tries to hang onto the side of the ship.
God,
And it's really loud for some reason. That doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense.
How are people on the
It-
ground
it-
hearing that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. God, that was awful.
Does he have claws on those fingers? Is this like nails on a chalkboard?
I mean,
That's what
hedgehogs
they're
do
trying to
have
do, but it shouldn't be
claws.
that loud.
No, it shouldn't.
I feel like Sonic's fingers are so flat though. I don't know.
He has very blunted claws.
I mean, something has to be keeping on there because that's a sheer metal plate, and he's somehow
No, I
hanging
know.
on there.
Yeah, it's like he's fucking magnetic.
Either way, hey, Mr. Stewart finally gets to do something.
Holy shit, tactical mirror.
There's these laser robots that shoot lasers at things, and he reflects them back with a mirror and destroys them, and he saves them.
Tactical mirror.
And then
Tactical
Sam says, "Hey, what are you doing being cool and useful? Get in here and do nothing else for the rest of the plot."
Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay. We get some other human help. It's hilarious because they put him in the car and then the laser robots chase them and they're like, "Oh no, they're here." And it's like, "I can't get to my mirror like this." And so like, why did you even do that? But we get some real help from Mr. Tanaka, who has a semi truck for some reason. Do
Sure.
you rent this? I don't know.
Sure.
Klondikes are fucking loaded. They probably just own it.
I'm just saying we've never seen it, but
No, we've never seen it.
yes, this truck has the X Tornado on it, so he's gonna meet the gang halfway, so we can actually make some progress. Just kidding. The plane gets damaged. Now we have to send Sonic in alone.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Great.
Anyway, Sonic gets 2 rings for this one.
Ooh, fancy.
It's because he has to insta-kill an entire battleship, which, yes, he does.
Why not
You
just use
shouldn't
the
be
2 Chaos
surprised,
Emeralds
but
then?
this is just another level of absurdity.
Well,
Yeah.
why not just use the 2 Chaos Emeralds? Jesus.
This is when you should use the Chaos Emeralds, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So they still have them.
Chaos
The whole
Blast
point of
or
Chaos
something.
Emeralds is that they have infinite energy. Why don't you just do this
Uh-huh.
all the time? In fact, where are the Chaos Emeralds? Are they on the plane?
Don't
I
they
think
have
at least one of them has to be because I think it's powered by a Chaos Emerald.
right? And the rest of them, don't they have like a containment chamber in Chuck's lab?
Yeah.
Well, so they showed that. I don't know if they're still keeping them at the house. It's a terrible place to
I would
keep them if
assume
they are. They
so.
should just have Sonic carry them around.
They're probably safest that way.
But in any case, yes, Sonic blasts the hell out of the ship and sends it directly into the ocean. And yes, you are correct, Lauren, that he does destroy the ship in one shot. But what this actually is creating a new status quo. Because while this is the Egg Fort's one of its only voyages, Eggman in the Egg Fort hiding under the ocean is going to be his new base from here on out.
Interesting.
They don't say that. Instead, it's a really weird ending because, like, Eggman is seemingly defeated.
Right.
Everything seems to be great, but all the characters are like depressed. They're like, Eggman's just gonna come back again, isn't he?
And
It like, ends on a down note for no reason. I don't understand it.
I guess at least they know that.
Yeah, it's weird. Also, why does Chris have the football helmet again? He hasn't worn that in like 10 episodes.
Animators forgot.
I guess. Yeah, so weird episode. This is all over the place, if I'm honest, this episode.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping that, after it's not the show doesn't have seasons, but after the end of the mid-season, whatever you want to call it, I was hoping they'd do more experimental or like character-focused stuff. This is really just the formula, TM.
Yeah. Oh boy. It's time for the formula.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think last week was better than this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the Helen episode, but that last week had 2 episodes that I liked, and this only.
Yeah, the Helen episode doesn't really make up for an overall mediocre week.
Yeah, but you can have a bad episode, and then you watch next week, and maybe we'll get something good. Maybe we'll even get a Knuckles episode next week. Who knows? I know it's because that's what's happening.
All right.
Yeah, the other Knuckles episode was my favorite episode so far, so that's a
There you
good
go.
sign.
Yeah. Maybe it'll even be as good as the Paramount Knuckles TV show, which everybody loves, I'm told.
I'm just not surprised.
I haven't actually watched it yet.
It sounds like a shitpost, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it just kind of sounds like it's really silly.
Yeah, which could be good, but
Yeah, I don't know.
in any case, that is our episodes for today. If you like this episode, please feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, criticism, or feedback, please feel free to contact us at any of the links in the link tree in the description. I hope you all have a great rest of your week. I hope you have a great rest of your night. And take care.